Hello, happy witching hour. So, I have been so busy today. I've been busy and then I've been sleeping and doing other stuff. And I didn't really have time. I wanted to come and kind of hang out a little bit. Instead, I ended up having to just do a quick video for TikTok. But it dawned on me, and my spirits wanted me to come and talk about this because this is real important. Um, yeah, this is very important. Y'all need to listen. Okay. Especially you witches and empaths and healers and different spiritual folks, with these spiritual gifts out here. Okay. Yeah, but you know what? Let's start off this discussion real quick. I want to say this. I'm going to be sending out gifts this Christmas to clients, my paying clients, my clients that are respectful, my clients that y'all are so amazing. And I just wanted y'all to know that I love y'all and that I appreciate y'all. Hey, John Lane. I love you, clients and students and apprentices. I love you guys. And please understand that every single day I am constantly doing right by y'all. I am. Okay. Cause I really appreciate y'all business, y'all love, y'all trust. I'm very appreciative of y'all. Okay. Just let's start this discussion off like that. But I want to have this discussion, and it's mainly and primarily for those of you that have these amazing spiritual gifts, but you got family problems. And I really want to urge you guys to be careful out here. Please be careful out here because you can very easily get taken advantage of and fed on. And I'm not talking about paying for spiritual work. You kind of have to pay for spiritual work. There is no such thing as free spiritual work. It isn't. I know that there's some people that would love to just take advantage and get free, but there's no such thing as free. Okay. It's not. Nothing in this life is free. Okay. It isn't. It just is what it is. But I'm talking about not taking advantage of financially. I charge what I charge for my services, and it just is what it is because it's worth it. I ain't had not one of my clients say that it ain't worth it. Um, but I'm talking about being an energetic sacrifice. Is where I want you guys to be careful. A lot of y'all, when y'all go to these people, they may ask for your date of birth, what time you were born. They can look in your chart and they can tell certain things. It's pinging off of your chart. And there are a lot of people out here that will try to feed off of you energetically and even steal your gifts. Oh, yeah, it's happening. And you know what? It happens a lot to you guys that have family problems, in particular problems with your mother. You have to be careful. You have to be careful out here with these folk. Going to these people, telling them your business, telling the wrong person your business, based upon maybe what you look like, how you sound, or other factors. People will decide based upon what you say to them if they're going to take advantage of you. And it happens. Okay, it happens. In fact, I've had several I've had several clients like that in the past few years that have had that happen to them. Um, and instead of the situation, instead of you being able to stabilize the situation, and neutralize the situation, what people will do is they will rattle chains and they will cause even more division. Now, some of y'all are dealing with situations to where you just got to walk away for good, and that's understandable. But even you have to be careful. Even you have to be careful. But those of you that have family problems and you don't hate your family, you don't hate them, you don't want them to die, you don't want anything to happen to them, you just kind of, you have issues. And some of these spiritualists that you go to, they can exacerbate the issue. Try to get in contact with people. That's the one thing about me, what my clients appreciate. I ain't gonna never try to contact your family. For what? That is intrusive. And I have seen and witnessed people do it. They will find out where your family is, contact them, and try to cause division, put demons and spirits inside of them so that they can be able to take advantage of and not just steal from you, but steal from your bloodline. See, that right there is something that is rarely spoke about. Okay. And I did a very good live on soul snatching. What I was saying was truth about soul stealing and energy harvesting. What you find on Google ain't it. What I was talking about was the real deal Holyfield when I was talking about soul swapping. And it ain't no joke. And then also there's spiritual possession. You know, so be careful out there. Okay, be careful out there because sometimes if people can find a way to divide and conquer your family, they will. And they will cause you more problems and make the issue worse. Cause a lot of anger where there doesn't need to be. There was a phenomenon, there is a phenomenon that's happening in the spiritual community to where people can what do they call it? They call it whereas a person can put ideas in your head. And see, I never do that. The next thing you know, they'll have you falsely accusing people in your family of sexual abuse. They'll try to implant that. I think it's called implanted something. And the next thing things are worse than what they are now. If you were legitimately molested, then that's a different thing. Hey, Miss Laverne Cheesecakes. But it's almost like and this is what narcissistic people do. There are a lot of narcissists in the spiritual community. A lot of them. They will create problems so that they can control you and dominate you. And that is a fraud. Let me tell you something. Just because somebody has a spiritual gift or even knowledge or wisdom does not mean that they are going to use it properly. In fact, a lot of people out there abuse their power. Be careful. Because a lot of the times what they will do is they've abused their power so much to where they lose their power. Now they want to take power and energy from other people. And they got to have a whole bunch of people. They got to have a whole bunch of people. They do. Right. They will damage you in ways that are just like so my spirit team, Saint Michael, Saint Raphael, they are the creators, Saint Gabriel, Saint Expedite, a lot of the saints, a lot of deities are the creators of this seven chakra thing that I'm doing, even though there's been tons and tons of spiritualists that have done it. But it's a healing thing. And it's also protection for the chakras which hold your power and your energy. Not only that, the spirits that are attached to you. You got people out there. And here's another thing that I know about is people. You realize that there are sometimes you have to do an exorcism on the ancestors. People will sully and pervert even your ancestors. They can do that. There are a lot of wonderful things that you can do with necromancy, but it's a lot of bad things can be done with necromancy. And you know what? God knows it. And God wants to make sure that y'all understand your options because they're trying to blame it on the economy. The economy is not bad. They'll say, "Oh, well, you'll contact your spiritualists, these fraud spiritualists, and you'll say, well, what's going on? Because I'm having financial. Oh, well, the economy. Oh, I'd hang up in their face. Okay, they either ain't tapped in or they don't want you to know. They want you to remain ignorant. Be careful with these folks out here. Sometimes the things that they are doing to you right now, you're not going to see them manifest for another several years. So when you see them red flags and when you see them doing stuff, and when I do have the power to ordain high priestesses and witches. That's why I am a teacher. I don't have jealousy issues. I don't have hangups. I don't have issues like that. So I'm very unbiased and I am very universal. Okay. So I have no reason to lie to you. Be careful out here. And they don't care. They won't budge. It's like they're soulless. You won't get anything out of them. They won't apologize. They'll sit up there and just look at you like you crazy. Look at you like you wrong because you didn't realize that they was tricking you. Now, my standards for the spiritual community are much higher than that, obviously, because I set my standards very high when it comes to the work that I am conveying to you. If you mad at your mama, if you mad at your daddy, your brother, your sister, the first thing I'm gonna say to you is I'm gonna say, you know what, we're gonna do some work to prevent them from doing harm to you, but have forgiveness in your heart. We're not holding on to that because the more you hold on to that, and they will try to remind you of that. Now, you don't want to be foolish, but there's always something for everything. A lot of y'all, you may accept things as destiny, and then sometimes things ain't gonna be settled or dealt with in this lifetime. I had a client that had problems with her mother, and she came to me after something had just screwed it all up, made it worse, right? Her mother passed away. I exorcised her mother in the spirit. Her mother was trapped. Several other of her ancestors were trapped. You got to understand how deep it goes. That's the reason why a lot of us in our practices, we do have to have guidance from deities, because we're here in the flesh. The deities are a spirit. They're not here in the flesh, even though they can. I believe that they can physically materialize themselves and they can even possess you sometimes. But you are flesh and blood living your lifetime. The deities like Hecate, who is the queen of the crossroads. Okay. Then you got Lilith. You got these deities that work, and they are the ones that are facilitating this. Anubis. What does Anubis do? Anubis sees the spirits to the other side. Papa Legba, Baron Samedi, his wife, they all do that to make sure. And so sometimes spirit will tell me, they'll say, well, there's an ancestor right there, but that ancestor is filled with demons. And you have an attachment somehow, especially when it comes to your mama or your daddy, whether or not you are woman or man. Because at the end of the day, your mother is still a part of your triple goddess. So you have to do everything that you can to rectify that situation. Now, listen, if your mother was beating you down, almost killed you, let a bunch of people rape you, hey, I totally understand if it goes that deep. But you still got to release that anger. I'm not going to tell you to hold on to that anger. I'm going to tell you to transmute it. There are a lot of people out here that will advise you incorrectly, and they cannot do no spiritual work for you. They can't do it because they don't know how to transmute. Most of us that are walking around here, especially if you have a connection with my collective and you're a witch and a healer, you already have very powerful transmutation powers. That's one of the powers that they want to steal. That's one of the spiritual gifts. Being somebody that can transmute something negative into positive, you understand that that is a gift. And there's people out there that want that gift, because whatever is happening in your mind is what's going to manifest in your reality, in your physical. And you got a lot of thieves out there. Okay. Wolves in sheep's clothing. And I'll say it straight up and down. I'm not a wolf in sheep clothing. I'm just a wolf, because wolves are very loyal. They're very loyal. They're very honest. And they are one of the most powerful in nature when you think about the animal kingdom. And that's a very dishonest and disloyal person that will disguise themselves, play in your face, but in reality, they want to cause destruction and they make things worse. You have to be careful when you have family problems. Like I'm talking about problems with your mama, that's extremely precious. If you can work it out, or at least neutralize those energies, that negativity between you and your mama, Now that don't mean that you got to do everything your mama tell you to do. No, that ain't what that means. But if you can neutralize those energies, that's what you have to do. It's better for you, it's for your own good. Okay. That anger, that resentment, that hate is something that you have to be able to transmute. You have to do it. I totally understand. I totally, man, yeah, I overstand. You know what I'm saying? And you have to make a choice. You have to say, am I going to allow this to destroy my life, or am I going to truly heal and move forward and have happiness, peace, and joy in my heart? Okay. That's why I tell y'all to be careful with free work, free this, free that. Oh, just send me a donation. What does that person really want? A real spiritualist ain't gonna give you nothing for free. You got to pay for it, because we all know that there's debt behind that, right? So ain't no real authentic witch out there gonna do no free work for you. If they offering you something for free, you have to question it. You have to say, wait a minute. Especially if it's somebody that don't know you and they don't owe you nothing, you don't owe them nothing. Hold up, wait a minute. Why are you offering to do all this stuff for me for free or for real cheap? What do you really want from me? Because I'm already knowing that you claiming that you gonna change my life for free. Now, unless that person just sitting around and they said, okay, for the year 2023, I got millions of dollars in the bank. Shorty, what you think? I got time. I'm just gonna give all this free work away. That's different. But that ain't the case for a lot of these folks. And then, especially if your situation ain't got no better and you ain't manifesting what you want, something going on. And they knee deep all up in your business, all up in your root chakra and your crown chakra and your heart chakra, trying to touch on every access point that they can. That just sounds like to me that somebody trying to not only rob you but rape you too. And I guess if you a person that like to be taken advantage of, I know that I'm not. I attract the kind of clients that they envision themselves, running and living on a farm or a lake or oceanfront property. They're not sitting up here down and out with low self-esteem. So I don't attract those kind of people. I don't. But even those of you that do appear to be down and out, your gifts are oppressed. And I don't force nobody. Okay. You either want it or you don't. But it's people out here that you truly at a crossroads and you're making decisions, doesn't mean that you can't make if you make a wrong decision, you always have the right to right that wrong, don't you? Some of y'all may have made bad decisions to deal with some of these fake spiritualists that want to take advantage of you. Does that mean that you got to suffer the rest of your life and throw away all your dreams and aspirations? No. Because some of them just wanted your power. Some of them could see it, whatever they could. Maybe they miscalculated it. Maybe they thought, and it just is what it is. The point, and you can see that they not really manifesting with your abilities, because your abilities can build castles and moats and horses and stuff. Your abilities can sometimes even wake up the dead. Okay. So they not really manifesting, but your power gets lost in translation or either scattered. That's what I call when you get scattered. When things become scattered and you just all over the place. You become fragmented. Your soul becomes fragmented. That's why a lot of y'all gotta sometimes, when you get done looking past your circumstances, you have to do a deep reading on your chakras to find out what is there, what is going on. Okay. And you gotta be careful with these folks. Because they'll sit up there in your face and they'll tell you, well, you shouldn't have been stupid then. Now oh, I was a lesson to you. That ain't, and you know what? I don't agree with it. I think that the pagan community really does need to be calling these folks out. They need to be calling these folks out. Because to me, they weak anyway. Because at any moment, it takes about an hour to take your power back, and that person is back at their weak point, ain't they? In about an hour. So y'all be careful out here, man, for real. Y'all may have issues with a person that you were supposed to work out real quickly, and people will exacerbate that. That's why I don't do things like that. For example, when y'all come to me with problems with y'all man, you know, I'm not gonna make up no fake crap. Well, he cheating and doing all this stuff, and he doing this and he doing that, and I see this and see that, so I can get more money out of you. No, I ain't gonna do that. I don't have to do that. But it's some people that will do that, or they just want to get you upset and get you riled up and get you triggered so that they can feed. And then you just feel that pull. You can, and they be like, "Ooh, that person pulling on you." No, it be that spiritual is pulling on you. Cause some of them ain't got good sense. And a lot of y'all are out here looking for, you're looking for camaraderie. You're looking for guidance, camaraderie. You're looking just to have a sister or somebody in the craft that understands spirituality, but everybody ain't good out here. And you'll be considered an easy target. You'll be considered an easy target because you don't have them. Your spirits is healing you and people around you. And then you run into somebody, and the next thing you know, and sometimes it can take several years, or either 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years to manifest. Okay. And you got to know the proper authority to go to. Okay. Now I'm a teacher, and there are certain things that are personal to me, just like everybody else, that I don't teach. Okay. But I'm not afraid that somebody can do something to me. That's why I teach. You think I'm afraid of my students or my apprentices coming back doing something to me? Mm-mm. I'm not. So that's why I don't mind teaching, because we need more people out there that are quality, that are trustworthy. And that's a big problem. I feel that spirit has a big problem with it. And spirit has a huge problem with those people that are out there taking advantage of people, perverting perverting the spiritual community as a whole and as a collective, because they want a grandstand, or either they got some kind of grudge against somebody that they need to just basically go and maybe possibly reevaluate their lives. 9 times out of 10, the people that have a grudge against you seriously need to go and reevaluate. I tell anybody that's mad and angry at me, don't give me that kind of power over you. You better move on with your life. Don't give me that kind of power over you because I don't want it and I don't need it. And spirituality is not a joke. Ain't no joke show. This ain't no joke show. Yeah, and it can't be free. That's why everything all jacked up and screwed up. A lot of y'all scared to tell your spiritualists how much money you got because some of these so-called spiritualists are so crazy and can't see the forest from the trees that even if you had $5,000 to pay them for work, they might get jealous of you. Now, that's crazy. But it's a lot of them out there that are very spiritually ill. They crazy. They get jealous of you. Next thing you know, you done lost your job. Okay? So the work can't be free, but you got to recognize real. Real has to recognize real. Or you have to recognize real. Especially if they running around here spreading all these rumors, doing smear campaigns against other spiritualists. Spirit, you, you better believe that spirit is absolutely working against those people and bringing those people to judgment all the time. I'm talking about real judgment. I'm not talking about fake judgment. I'm talking about real judgment. They chest so heavy they can't even breathe. That's the kind of judgment that they going through. Okay, and they're gonna have to deal with it. They're gonna have to deal with it. And a lot of them, you know that there is a large percentage of people out here offering spiritual work and they don't even believe in it. Like that, imagine going to somebody like that, because if they believed in it, wouldn't they do things on the straight and arrow? It'll be somebody out there doing folks wrong. They be out there doing everybody wrong, doing everybody dirty. But then they'll go and they'll say, "Oh, whoever do me wrong gonna get karma." Like, well, wouldn't that apply to you as well? That's gonna apply to you too, ma'am or sir. Got what? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm having a soda emergency. Here it is. I found it. Never mind. Yeah, y'all gotta be careful out there. Okay, and to run a spiritual business, you also have to have some kind of business sense as well. And it doesn't make any sense when it comes to business to take advantage of people like that, because people gonna start figuring that out. And they do have ways of fooling people in social media. They got bot accounts and troll accounts. So just because you see people saying, "Hey, ooh, you the truth," hey, hey, just because you see that don't mean they real. Yeah, I'm just telling y'all what I know, man. And I'm sick and tired of it. Spirit is tired of it because it's way too important. It's way too important. It is. It's way too important for people that are fraudulent to be out here doing what they do. Okay. And then boy, and boy, I got so mad. It was quite a few people that came to me and said that they got taken advantage of by so and so and took all their money. You know, took all their money and ran off. They get your money. You don't hear from them. They don't answer the phone when you try to call them, ask them a question. Yeah. Okay. You don't hear from them after they done got your money. So y'all be careful out there, please. But it's specifically those of you that are spiritually gifted, specifically those of you, which I believe that a lot of us, most of us possess spiritual gifts. It may not be the same. Whereas if you're talking about a witch or, you know, that may be something that you're not necessarily embracing, which is fine. You don't have to. You come into that in your own time. But a lot of y'all don't even get to discover your spiritual gifts. Okay. And it doesn't mean that you have to go out there and do work for people and that's what that doesn't mean that. But it's definitely very helpful to have proper spiritual support these days. Okay. And a lot of them ain't it. I'm just telling y'all. Okay, and we do pray sometimes over here, but we don't do prayers. We do magic. Okay. We practice the craft over here. Which is what? What is it? Is it always black magic and pain and suffering and harming somebody? No. In fact, that's not even what it's about. It really isn't. Mm, I'll tell you funny. It's about magic. Magic is about taking the energies and the power of the elements in spirit and manifesting. Creation is what it's about. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to come and tell y'all that y'all have a good one. Shout out to all of my clients. I appreciate you guys so much. There's going to be a lot of angry people. It is going to be a lot of angry people. People are going to be angry. And don't say I didn't warn you. Do not say I didn't warn you when it comes to the spiritual community. When it comes to some of the things that I have revealed to the spiritual community and things that people, it would have been in their best interest to listen. Okay. Especially when it comes to your family. And let me say this before I go. Just because somebody passes away does not mean that everything is okay. Okay, that's the whole purpose of us doing medium sessions with people so that you can communicate with your departed ones and whatever it is that they have to say to you, whether or not it's good, bad, or indifferent. Somebody that is actually practicing necromancy can interpret those messages, a medium. Okay, because I do think that you have to be a medium in order to practice necromancy, but I think you also have to be able to not be biased, and you have to do what is best for the client and the family. You do not just go and keep war going on between folks and their family members. Okay. Person that's doing that is trying to take advantage and is stealing from your bloodline and your spirits. Okay. And that's a silly person too. I ain't never seen. I just, when I look at the amount of silly people that I see running around here, it's totally ridiculous. And they'll take it to their grave. They never will apologize for it. It's sad, but it's the truth. You got a lot of people out here that are just ruined. They are just ruined. Okay, they don't want to acknowledge what they did. They don't want to admit. Of course, they're not going to admit to it. Which, for me, I'm the type of person, you want my respect, you're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to admit to what you did and apologize. That's the only way, to repentance. When you repenting for something, that's the only way to do it. I just think that some people are just bad people. Though I do. I think some people are just bad people and ain't gonna never be right. All right, y'all. I will catch y'all later. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure that y'all share this video and subscribe if you haven't already. All right. See y'all later. Blessings. Bye bye.